again for joining in. I'm just going to be I'm going to move on and I'm going to talk about what we look for in an ideal applicant. So it's I get a couple of questions around this a couple frequently, and I thought that it would make sense for me to talk about this on this live session and maybe give more insights to some of the criteria that we use in grading our candidates. So, the first thing I'm going to say is ability to follow clear instructions given and complete all aspects of the application form. Now, to give more context on this, I would say again, like I mentioned earlier, it's important that when you're filling out an application form, do not do this in a hurry. Take your time, look through the instructions carefully, and also make sure you fully understand everything that has been laid out on the table. Now, when I mean completing all aspects of the application form, I have some people, one or two people who would submit an application form and would not answer maybe one or two of the role specific questions. This is an immediate disqualification because at the end of the day, I'm not able to grade you sufficiently against every other person. So it's important that you take your time. It's important that you read the instructions. It's important that you deliver on all the questions that have been asked on the application form. So the second thing I look out for is high attention to details. So like I mentioned earlier on, there is the trick question that is within our application form. And many times, many times, people would say, that people would actually skip that question and people would give the wrong answers to those questions. And it just makes my work easier because then I know you're not paying attention to details. But it is important that you pay attention to details, and it's important that you pay attention to details even more than myself. I've had people who have corrected me during the application form by pointing out something I haven't done well. So that's a good thing for me because I know that you have taken a step further to research and really pay attention to details and point out the areas or the lapses within the application form. So, third thing I would say that we look out for is relevant work experience. And this is a problem that we face not just with SLA, but in the human resource world as a whole. So, a typical scenario would be I'm recruiting for the program's associate role, and I would have someone who studied accounting in the bank apply for the program's associate role. And I wonder sometimes what's going on. So, make sure that you have the relevant experience to back up the role you're applying for is very, very important. I mean, the only roles I can tell you that may not need as much experience would be if you're applying to become an intern or a volunteer at Leads Africa. Then we know that, okay, you may not have actual hands-on work experience, but you may only have like experience studying while in school. So it's very, very important that you have the relevant experience to back up the role that you are applying for. The fourth thing I would say we look out for is your ability to confidently sell yourself as the best candidate for the role. Yes, so this is something that is very vital for me. I keep saying it and I would never stop saying it to people out there. When you're applying for a job, that is like your first and only opportunity to sell yourself as the best candidate. So my assumption is that there are 100 or 10,000 people out there who are applying for the same role as myself. So the first thing I want to be thinking about is what constructive or what creative ways can I apply myself in such a way that I'm going to stand out from the other 9,999 people who have applied for this role. So yes, even I too, as the recruiter, I pay attention to details, and I'm always happy and overly excited when I see people who are able to sell themselves through the application form and the work sample testing process. So it's important that you're able to sell yourself for the role. Look for ways, do your research, look for more creative ways to make yourself and your application stand out from the crowd. The fifth thing I would say we look at is a clear path on how this role fits into your overall career trajectory while aligning with SLA's business strategy. So it is also is very important for us, and we ask these questions during interviews where we ask how this role plays any form of role in terms of your career growth, in terms of where you want to be in the next 1 to 2 or 3 years. So it's important that you take a step back, think about how this role would affect your goals and your long term plans in terms of growth and progression. Um, Yes, so the sixth thing would be around candidates who have a clear sense of their weak areas and are able to speak to how they are working to improve those areas. A typical example where this reflects would be when we ask you questions about our values booklet and we ask you what value you think you would struggle with and how you're working to improve this. I think the general conception is people feel like if they are able to say if they are saying things that um if they're saying something that seems weak, then they are not the suitable candidate. But I would correct that impression and tell you that it's okay to identify where your weak point is, but the what makes you stronger and what makes you stand out from the crowd is your ability to tell us what you're doing, the steps you're taking in terms of improving in those areas. So yes, so we look out for people who have a clear sense of their weak areas and also people who are able to boldly speak or tell us about how they're working on those areas that they feel are weak. So finally, I would say candidates who did the appropriate research on the company. And the reason why I would say this is because this way you are able to come up with better cons to improve upon an already existing SLA process. I'll repeat that statement. This way you're able to come up with better concepts to improve upon an already existing SLA process. Yes, during the interview process, you're going to be asked questions around what new ideas, what new fresh ideas do you have to improve on an existing process? And based on your answers, you will tell us 2 or 3 things: the level of research you have done, your interest in the company, and your interest in diversifying and growing and doing bigger things. So yes, that's these are the things that we look for in applicants who apply to She Leads Africa. So I think that pretty much brings me to the end of the section on applications. And I hope that I was clear enough and this has gone a long way to inform your decisions and your next steps. So, on this note, I would want to say that we are currently hiring for some priority roles at She Leads Africa. Most importantly, we're looking for growth marketing candidates. This role involves coming up with concepts to increase brand awareness and our community members using newsletter marketing, A/B testing, and ad campaigns. Also, we're looking for people to join the programs team. We're looking for a web developer. And we're also looking for interns as well. We're constantly looking for interns, actually. The interns support and manage departmental projects, and this is also based on need. I'll just want to state here that priority will be given to those who attended this live session. So be sure to include this in your application form as well. So just a quick recap. I have talked about SLA, who we are, our why we were founded, our goal, what makes us stand out. Yes, She Leads Africa is a fast-growing media platform focused on delivering inspirational content and experiences to more than 700,000 millennial women across the globe, with emphasis on media platform. And then I talked about the why and how we decided to build something that would help African women build their confidence and believe that they could achieve their dreams. Our goal is actually to become the number one destination for smart and ambitious millennial or young African women. And what makes us stand out from the crowd is the kind of informal brand personality we have, which involves the use of pop culture, popular slangs, references, and multimedia files like GIFs to ensure that our platform is engaging to our target markets. So I've talked about our culture, which is an informal structure or informal work environment where we're keen on high feedback. Managers and team members are constantly giving each other feedback based on their work. We don't believe in suits and ties. We just believe in getting your work done in the most comfortable attire ever. We operate on a first name basis, but regardless of that, we try to keep things respectful and work as a team to get our work done. Team members are working from different parts of the world, and we're able to collaborate on projects using tech tools like Slack, G Suite, Zapier, Zoom. So these are tools that if you haven't worked with them before, you may want to research, go online and look at online tutorials on how these tools work. It might be necessary. You never know. You might be joining the team in the nearest future. So it's great, and it would be good if you have a hang on some of these tools before you actually join the team, or this might be tools that may be convenient for your businesses or your side hustles. I talked about our values are SLA, excellence, commercially minded, precision, ownership, data driven, level 2 thinking. We stay learning, efficiency and delivery focused, resilience, integrity, and creativity. And I touched also on the kind of work that we do and the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes to ensure that our community members are given the best resources and are able to live their best lives. I summarize this by saying, in summary, every day at SLA is a firefighting day for us, and you have to be ready to bring something new to the table on a daily basis to thrive in our work environment. In terms of our application process, I said there are 4 stages, which is the online application form, work sample testing, the situational judgment interview, our culture chats. So this process can take about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how fast we are able to move. What we look out for in an applicant would be your ability to follow clear instructions given and communicate and complete all aspects of the application form. Yeah, we also look for your ability to pay attention to details, relevant work experience, your ability to confidently sell yourself as the best candidate for the role, a clear path on how the role fits into your overall career progression while aligning with our business strategy. We also look for candidates who have a clear sense of their weak areas and are able to speak to how they're working to improve those areas. And finally, we look for candidates who did appropriate research on the company. This way, they are able to come up with better concepts to improve upon an already existing SLA process. And just a quick one before I move into the Q&A session. So once again, we are currently hiring for some priority roles at She Leads Africa. Top of the list is a growth marketer. This role will involve you coming up with concepts to increase brand awareness and our community members using newsletter marketing, A/B testing, etc. We're also looking for members to join our programs team. We're looking for web developers. We're looking for interns. And like I said earlier, priority will be given to those who attended the live session. So be sure to include this in your application form when you're submitting. So thank you. That brings me to the end of my long communicative session. Now I'm going to be taking questions from the crowd. So yes, I've seen a question around. Um, I see a question around if we have a branch in Ghana. Like I said, we are a fully remote team. So if you're in Ghana and you feel like you have what it takes to bring your A game to the job, you have what it takes to stand out and make us shine, please feel free to send in your applications. We're not specific or subjective to location. We just believe in your ability to get your work done. Also, I see a question around, can a graduate apply for intern slots? Yes, please. If your internships are structured in such a way that if you're a student, if you're just a graduate who is taking a gap year, or you're waiting for your next big gig, or if you're a master's student, you can also apply to become an intern at Leads Africa. What is your official website? www.chileadsafrica.org. That's our website. I hope you're able to get that. www.chileadsafrica.org. And then someone says, is application always open? I'm not sure what you mean, but yes, for some roles, applications are constantly open, like the internship experience we're constantly receiving applications all year round. But yeah, for some other roles, for other senior or mid-level roles, we tend to close the application process when we have filled the role. And someone asked, how do I get the online application form? Just go on the website, go to the careers page, and click on the role that you're interested in. And once it pops up, you click on apply now, and voila, your application form will be just in front of you. Can a male apply? Okay, so we get this question a lot. So She Leads Africa isn't gender biased. We actually believe that both men and women can work together to give the best results. We currently have 2 guys working with us, and we've had more guys work with us in the past. So regardless of gender, please apply if you have the skills and the relevant experience to bring your A game to the table. I'm trying to see if anybody has any other questions. Please, if you have any other questions, I would say send in your questions as soon as possible. Someone says, is there any relocation arrangements for those that are not in Lagos? I would want to touch again on my earlier point, which was our roles are not, we're not keen on your physical location. So we have team members working from different parts of the world, from South Africa and from different parts of Nigeria as well. So the most important thing here is getting your work done. So please apply. Someone says, what is the environment around employees? Are foreigners allowed to apply? Please, by all means, this working at She Leads Africa is not subjected to just nationals. It's subjected to everybody, everywhere and anywhere. So far, you have the skills and the experience, and you're willing to sell yourself and nail it. Environment around employees, like I mentioned earlier, we operate in an informal, laid back environment, but yes, there's a lot of work to be done. Can people work from home? Yes, it would actually surprise you to know that we are fully remote now. Prior to this, we had remote working privileges as well, but now our team members have been working from home since the pandemic started. Is a qualification sufficient experience? Does volunteering count as experience? First things first, yes, the qualification is sufficient experience. But what I would be more interested to know is how you've been able to apply your qualification into hands-on work and practical experiences. Volunteering, yes, is also an experience for me. I also recommend that. I mean, work is work, but like I said, how you're able to apply yourself in practical experiences goes a long way. Okay, so SLA is, someone says, where is SLA based? SLA is based in Lagos, Nigeria, but we have team members working across the globe. So, do interns have to be physically present at the office? The answer is no. Our interns work remotely from different parts of the world. We currently have about 6 interns, some working from South Africa, some working from Kenya, some working from Zimbabwe, some working from Nigeria, some working from the US as well. So, yes, you don't need to be physically present in the office. I see another question here. Is it possible to work with you even if we have another job? I mean, we're all about the hustle. So if you're going to be able to pull it and deliver A++ results, by all means, please shoot your shots. However, I would want to say that you should keep in mind that one of these establishments you work for, while multitasking, may tend to suffer. And hopefully, it's not She Leads Africa, because if it's She Leads Africa, then I would definitely be bidding you farewell. Someone says, is having an experience compulsory? Yes, by all means. Having a work experience is compulsory for any organization you're applying to. Like I said, if some roles we do not look at experience for would be the internships, because we just believe that most people who apply for the internship roles are students who haven't been able to apply themselves in actual work environments. Is there room for mentoring? Yes, every day at She Leads Africa is a mentorship day. We make it a big deal to pair people up with what we call a body system. So you would have a senior colleague who would be mentoring you and coaching you through your job and your weak areas and areas of improvements. So someone says, must an applicant have been certified in a particular role before being considered, or having enough skills and knowing the technicality of the job process enough to be considered? First and foremost, I would say certification isn't mandatory, but it's a plus. However, I would push to say having the right skills, being able to apply yourself, knowing the technicality of the job process is very key, because then why are we recruiting? We're recruiting you to come and help us solve a problem. We're helping people. You're helping us find solutions to existing problems. So without the right experience, without knowing the technicalities behind many things, then you will be of very little value to the organization. So someone says, do interns get paid? Yes, interns get paid, but it also depends on the project. So yes, so there's an incentive for internships, but what I want to push for is for people who are applying to be interns to not focus predominantly on the money that they're being paid, but to focus on the experience that they stand to gain, and also the opportunities, the added opportunities that they tend to get while working or interning with She Leads Africa. And the reason I say this is because most of our full-time staffs today started out as interns, and today they're in senior roles within the company. So starting as an intern doesn't mean that your focus is on salary or income, but should be on your experience, the level of experience you're getting, the wealth of knowledge that you're being given, your ability to network and work with the team, and also grow on the role. So someone says, since the internship role is open always. Can one keep applying till he or she has been accepted? By all means, if at first you don't succeed, please keep trying and trying and trying and trying until you get in. And then, of course, if you're the type that pays attention to details, you would read the feedback email that has been sent to you, and you take note of all the areas that you missed out, and you would make the adequate corrections and definitely make it in to join the team. Now, someone says, how does SLA measure success? Well, it's pretty much straightforward. Success for us is, are you hitting those KPIs at the end of the month? Are you making us proud? Are we seeing the actual results? Are we seeing how you're growing on the role? Are we seeing how you're able to apply yourself to situations and solve the existing problems that we have? How are you growing? How is the company growing? Those KPIs, are you ticking them off with green ticks, or are we seeing red check marks? So, yes, this is how we measure success for our team members. Um, Yes, so that's pretty much it. I believe I've been able to answer all the questions. Um, thank you so much for actually joining in and taking the time to send in questions. Like I said, remember that applications now are open, and also I'll be giving high priority to those people who indicated they're joining in on this call. Thank you so much for taking out time to be a part of this live event. I hope I've been able to answer most of the questions that people had, and I'm most importantly looking forward to seeing beautiful and outstanding, shining applications. If you have any other questions outside of the questions that have been asked today, please feel free to shoot your questions forward to my email, which is hr@sheleadsafrica.org. I'll repeat that once again, hr@sheleadsafrica.org. Send in your questions, and I will be sure to respond via email. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to my team who have been working behind the scenes to make this event great. It has been a pleasure. Once again, I look forward to getting outstanding A++ applications coming in for our existing open roles. Thank you so much. I'm just going to take one more question and then we wrap up. Someone says, you made mention of 4 online application processes. Does assessment come after succeeding in one process before moving to the next? Of course, based on assessment, based on your scores, you would advance to the next stage. If it just happens that you are unable to get to the next stage, or you were unsuccessful, you would also get a rejection email and reasons as to why you were rejected. Is your information located on your profile? What information exactly are you looking for? So, yes, if you're looking for information on the company, yes, we have information on the website. Information for me is hr@sheleadsafrica.org. And once again, my name is Nneka Veronica Alfred, and I'm the head of talent at She Leads Africa. That will be all the questions I'll be taking today. Thank you so much, guys. This has been a very insightful session for me. I hope I've been able to provide information that's relevant and important information that you all need. Please, once again, like I said, if you have any additional questions, please send them to hr@sheleadsafrica.org. This has been great, great, great. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great weekend and happy independence to our Nigerian moguls once again. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.